Welcome to TradeTheMBI.com. This is John's reports for the 11th of March. And well, the market gave a we'll wait and see attitude. But at the end of the day, the clock is ticking. And if you can't open up that Strait of Hormuz, and now they just bombed the mining ships and that, the market's giving them, a slight benefit of the doubt here, but the potential risks are still extraordinary. So that the that we're holding up where we are is pretty extraordinary, given the circumstances. But you're gonna have to put up, or it's going to show up that you can't supply it, and how will that impact the region areas and whether or not they can continue to get supplies to their countries, Bahrain and some of these other ones unrelated to Iran. So the geopolitical situation is still uncertain, and it's reflected in the readings. We're still in a continuation mode here with the sign red and oranges caught between, so that gives us the same. We got a slightly bullish read from it within that because you've got the dip of steel coming back above. But until that clears, yeah, it's not set. You can see short interest still rising within that, but magenta is still over yellow. So even from a Nasdaq standpoint, while it's ugly, it's not in a death spiral just yet. Really, you're not far off that. In oil, modest here in the mid 80s, if you want to call it modest from the spike, but not modest at all. I mean, that is a significant premium. Every day that goes on is going to be a nightmare when it comes to economic growth and where things are from there. That they're keeping the euro alive, which is interesting given the fact that they're having to pay 50 to 100% more for fuel and everything. That's a pretty big drain on how many euros you have because you got to convert it to dollars. So we'll see how that is able to hold up for any length without major central government involvement. Gold, yeah, it's going to continue its climb. No, there's no question about that, and that should support Bitcoin and crypto, unless you start getting a major sell-off, in which case everything tends to suffer because you've got to liquidate positions when that takes place. So you can see this was just pretty much sideways action. We had the buy from all the way down in the 66.75 range and proceeded all the way up until we got a little bit of softness here, which expects a move towards 50% with this latest pivot, which would be down to the 67.45 range. So if you don't reach that before a significant change, that would be pretty bullish. That I would expect to move back up towards the peak. So keep an eye out for that. Yesterday, when I was showing this 5K, I was showing an experimental one, but I have the correct Theocon P2 here back on there. So that showed the uplift that we had from before. And then intraday, you can see that things just decayed. And then in the post market here, we've been a little bit of bullish, but it all faded back 100% because, again, this is all going to be emotional narrative situations based on which bomb is going to land. And if that's the case, then people are just going to get whipsawed around. But the risk element is still very high, and within that, the only question is, if they set up enough of an off ramp saying that, oh yeah, we've destroyed everything of their military, blah 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 blah. Didn't seem so when they were able to start, putting mines in the Strait of Hormuz. How'd that happen if they supposedly destroyed all the ships? So that was confusing. But we'll see how it plays out. And at the end of the day, the market's going to tell us because they're going to know beforehand. And we just have to follow the readings. But it's going to be back and forth. So a lot of volatility. Love it. As always, anything relevant, I'll put it on the team chat. Have a good one. Trade well.